Hey there, Comp 2. I just was thinking about your research paper last night while I was running. Is that weird? Yeah, it is kind of weird. Clearly, I am the epitome of kind of a English teacher geek, and that's okay with me. I'm really comfortable with that. I hope you're having. I hope you had a great weekend. First of all, I was just confessing to a friend that there are certain times of the year that it just seems like I should really be enjoying them, but I always end up a little bit stressed out. And the the fall, end of October trick or treat thing always stresses me out. Like getting kids costumes, and maybe some of you don't celebrate that. I kind of think that's convenient not to actually. Um, but it's a hot mess. I mean, I'm trying to get candy out for the neighbor kids. I'm trying to do all this stuff. I mean, I think it's more work than Christmas. No, just kidding. But I'm kind of taking a deep breath that this week is totally class party free and hopefully rather uneventful. I must be getting old because I'm looking forward to uneventful weeks. Hopefully this week is uneventful for you so that you can have time to feel like you're catching up with your body. You ever feel like you're like having an out of body experience in life where like you're everything's going fast and furious and you can't quite catch up with your own self? Hopefully this is a little bit of a pause week for you as we really start fleshing out our research paper. I know that's kind of a oxymoron. Slow down and do a research paper. Well, it is what it is, right? So here's what you're working on this week, and this is all due November 10th, Sunday at midnight. And we're in November. Jeez, mind blowing. Now that you're all have gotten over the time change and you're ready to go, we're working on writing our research paper proposal. And there is a format that I want you to follow. I do understand that if you took Comp 1 at Northwest State, the phrase proposal can mean something different. I'm asking for specific parts that I want to see ahead of time on your research paper. Here are the parts that I'd like to see. This is the only thing you're turning in this week. And by the way, the reading in Hirschberger and Aaron are more like samples about and talking about research. So they're more like resource readings. You're not being tested over those specifically. They're just sort of giving you some resources for the research process. Okay, so here's what I'm looking for. I would like a thesis statement that you might change, but mostly this is going to be, I don't want you to change topics midstream. It's important that you kind of rest in on a topic. So you're going to have a thesis statement that is a working thesis or a rough draft thesis. You're going to have some sort of outline or writing plan. That means that some of you like formal outlines, and that's great. I want this writing plan to work for you as a writer. So whether maybe it's just a discussion of your topic, maybe it's some sort of graphic organizer. By the way, Microsoft Word has a lot of, they call them smart charts that you can download and then move, like you can add different elements and you can write in the fields that they create, and they're color coded. If you're a visual person, I recommend those. If you just like the structure and analytics, sometimes I got frustrated with the rules on outlining. I had a bunch of younger teachers when I was younger that really emphasized all of the nitpicky points of writing an outline with Roman numerals and when to capitalize the letter A and when to lowercase and what Roman numeral came next. So, for some of you who may have had that same experience and have like a bad taste in your mouth about formal outlines, you might even consider a decimal outline because it's kind of straightforward. You could do topical outlines. Probably one of the most powerful tools that I was forced to learn to use when I was in college in my speech classes were outlines that embedded the resources. I had to show where I was going to use which resource, and I do find that as a writer I've used some of that in my papers now, because then I don't have to look back and see what was I thinking about when I made this outline. I have the resource right there. These are all options for you. None of them are the one single way to do it. I just want to see a writing plan. Obviously, the more developed your writing plan is, the easier a paper is going to be to write. Your writing plan might change because this is early on in the process to have a plan. So a lot of this, it might even be question driven, like what questions you want to answer in each section of your paper. The third part of your proposal is a works cited. Again, this works cited document might change, but I would like you to have your resources written out, not URLs. I want the works cited format so that literally when you go to hand in the paper, your works cited just may need a few tweaks, but it's pretty much done. So it needs to be in the correct format. I think I'm asking you to at least have at least 5 sources. I'll have to look back at my own course content to see how many I asked you to have, but aim for between 5 and 10 sources on this list. More is good because, and you don't have to have read each of these sources, you just have to have like kind of skimmed and scanned to see if they may be on topic with what you're talking about, so that you have something to go look at later. I'm not asking you to have read all your sources this week. You're getting a plan so that as you read, you can fill the plan in and flesh it out even more. We are moving quickly through this. This is a proposal all of a sudden, and then next week kind of dials back a little bit to allow you to really get in and research, and then the following week we're drafting and editing. So this is a big push week. Next week is sort of a research week, and then we have another big push to the end. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If not, send me questions. I really want to know your concerns and that kind of thing for this. This paper is kind of your capstone paper. It is the paper that's going to go into your school portfolio if you're getting a degree from Northwest State. So consider that as well. No pressure. Maybe a little pressure. Healthy pressure is good, but don't stress out. Send me questions before you go into stress mode, okay? Have a great week of researching and planning, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.